And here we are, guys. We made it 7 months already, since I started my journey as a pipefitter apprentice in the union. And it's crazy how time just flies. I really hope you guys had an amazing Christmas, a New Year's. For me, I spent most of those days sick. You can kind of see the effects of that right now as well with my voice changing. It's been a rough few days. Let's just get right into this. If some of you guys are watching, some of you guys are new, I basically made this channel. I'm just here to document my progress, from being an apprentice all the way to journeyman and so on. So I'm just here to give you guys a monthly update on how my experience is going and what I'm doing, what I'm learning. So what I did in the month of December is I did a ton of soldering. I was soldering where I actually posted some videos here on this YouTube channel, of me soldering and, me getting actually more comfortable with it as well. Soldering in uncomfortable places and just getting better at it. And most of the soldering I did was on the first floor, and there's 9 floors to this building. So trust me, guys, I'm for sure gonna get ton more experiences of soldering in this building. Another thing that I'm doing is, before anything is even soldered or any pipe is up, I've been working a lot with hangers, installing hangers, reading blueprints as well for those hangers, and also adding the exact height needed for that hanger, because of course it has to be a specific height for that hanger and that pipe to hang. So I've done that so many times that I'm, of course, once again, I am getting more, comfortable with blueprint reading, finding all the information I need on the blueprints to match this hanger. For example, if there's a hanger missing, because remember, all these hangers come from a shop. They're prefabbed already, numbered and everything, and they're dropped on the job site. And how it works is, I am looking at this blueprint and there's like a number that says L21. So I have to go to the crate that came from the shop and look for L21 and install it where the print is telling me. And for example, if there's like a hanger missing, the print basically tells you all the information of that specific hanger. It tells you the length of the rod, the size of the hanger. It could be a 3-inch hanger, a clevis hanger, a clevis with shield. It tells you all the specs. So that's basically what I've been doing, reading more of this blueprint and doing more installing of the hangers as well. There's like a lot of things that go into this. You gotta check the bottom of hanger height to the floor, make sure that's okay. And also you gotta leave space for the insulators. You gotta leave like at least from the rod, you gotta leave at least like an inch for the insulators to work with. So there's a lot of pieces to this. So your work affects another person's work, like the insulators, of course. So you could say it's more than just installing hangers, is, getting it precise. Now moving on to something completely new that I did in the month of December, and it was doing some line sets. Some people call these spaghetti. So there are a bunch of line sets that me, and a journeyman had to install, and we had to run those through walls, and all those line sets come in pairs. Line set is really thin, copper. It's easy to work with. It's 50 feet the total of just line set itself that comes in a box. So we have to unroll that. One thing I was told is that if you tend to bend it too much, it will stay stiff at some point. So you try not to bend it as much, only when you need to. And when you're going through walls, sometimes you gotta do a 90. So of course you bend it into a 90, you bend it into a 45. Pretty interesting stuff. I got to do that for a while, and it was pretty awesome to do. So going back to the soldering, some of the lines that I solder are called condensate lines. And that's basically for the units when the when the water trickles back, it will flow. It's all gravity. So I have to make sure that this pipe is pitched away from the unit so the water don't roll back into the unit. So all these runs have to pitch away from the unit. So making sure that our condensate line is pitched is very important. This will of course prevent any issues in the future. I know I've talked about this one before, is of course I'm still doing layout, but I'm doing layout in a way where it helps out the welders. I help them find the center of where their pipe needs to be welded and where it needs to go. So that was pretty awesome to do. That was a whole new learning curve because it wasn't just about hangers, but finding the center for the welders to weld this pipe perfectly. And it could be really nerve-wracking because let's say you messed up and you're an inch off and the welder welds this and it's good. So you gotta make sure you got this right. And thankfully I did get it right. So that's what I've been doing at work. And now let's move on to school. I have already done my soldering and brazing class. And now I've actually been torch cutting, which has been awesome. We were torch cutting like a 4-inch steel pipe. Also, I got my welding equipment. I will start welding class very soon. Of course, I will keep you guys updated when that happens. I will gladly say that I finished my math class. That's done. But we're moving to plumbing code now. And before you guys leave, very soon I will be making a video that has been well requested, and that is the process that I took me to join the union, like the testing process, the interview process, and things like that. I'm gonna make a whole video on that on this month of January, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't give up, but for right now, have a blessed day.